Black and muted.
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 Black and
Black and
muted.
muted.
Black and muted.
Yeah, what's going on, everyone? We're back with another episode of Black and Muted. I'm here with my lovely co-hosts, Shanice and C. And we're here for the episode today is The Hypocrite on the Block, when the message comes too late. And in this episode of Black and Muted, we're going to confront the uncomfortable truth of street violence, hypocrisy. Why do some only call for peace once tragedy hits home? We're going to obviously explore, how older generations kind of have an effect, on the cycle, how they can sometimes pass the negativity down. And, we're going to discuss how we can kind of break that cycle, before it gets too late. So, how do you feel about that subject?
It's a difficult one. Because you do tend to just talk about things that happen in your community when you hear things go down. And you're not always necessarily in the front line when, when we are speaking up about these matters either. So I think everyone plays their part in it. Do you know what I mean? Everyone has a bit of that in them to say, yeah, I want to make a difference, but it doesn't necessarily happen.
And I think it's also like change begins with you as well. So taking accountability where we can, because obviously we're not responsible for like the generations of what's happened and what continues to happen or what goes on a day-to-day outside of ourselves, but then where we can apply a little extra compassion, some understanding, or necessary disciplines, I think that's where we have the role to play here. But to be fair, I have very minimal experience in the streets as such. I've had experiences in passing, but not necessarily things where I can be like,
That was my experience.
Yeah. So like
same. I was very sheltered as a kid. So.
My family, they did enough for me to be covered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think, some things, like in life, some things are easier said than done. So, when you see things, it's easy to have an opinion and to say, you would do this or you would react this way or, but then when you're faced in that situation, it's like fight or flight in it. And in that moment, sometimes
I am known to jump out of the car if I see like kids fighting on the road.
When it comes to instinct.
Do you know what I mean? Because I am a mum as well, and I just think about what would a mum feel if something happened to their kids. And I went, do you know what I mean? I drove past that or whatever, so I tend to do that. I think, so everyone has a little something that they do give to society in that, but it's still happening. So there is more to give somewhere, do you know what I mean?
Is there?
It's also how you bring up your kids as well, do you know?
Yeah. But I guess the thing is, it's what we can't control.
Yeah.
That becomes
That's the problem.
But is it what we can't control? I don't know. I mean, given that you have, I'm looking at you because I know you have more experience within particular environments. So would you say there's things within the streets that need to be addressed by the streets, or is that home?
And to be honest with you, I just think like you just need to let the streets be the streets. I think everything plays its part in it. In society, everyone has their role to play. I just think that there's been things like gangsters from back in the day. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Or crime syndicates, even things like that. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like that's just even being specific in it. But just in general, the point I'm trying to make is that in society, that people have their roles to play, and I think what the issue is that a lot of people have opinions on things that is not even nothing to do with you or something that you don't understand. So, for instance, you'll get people that will kind of like make comments on things that like happen on the roads or happen on the streets, but respectfully, if you're a civilian and you're not into that stuff, then yeah, you're not going to have an understanding. So you're not going to understand why they've reacted that way. You're not going to understand why they're seeing things like that. You're not going to understand why they have certain morals or certain values. Like at the moment, like what I'm starting to see is that like a lot of people are kind of like endorsing this snitching kind of like culture in it. And for me, I don't agree with it at all.
But the thing is that if you live in that world, when it spills out into normal society, that's when the problem, do you know what I'm saying? That's when it becomes a problem.
But it's almost inevitable that it spills out. So why do you not agree with snitching? I mean, I hear it, but at the same time, I don't be hearing it, because do you not feel like sometimes people need, like if there's not...
Their tail cut.
If there's not, if there's not like a something outside of that, do you not feel like it's just going to be worse for the most part?
What do you mean though? What do you mean by that? Sorry,
like people who aren't ever held accountable for violent crimes, if they never had that point in meeting justice, because, you know, usually it's because someone then became the snitch. But if they never had that point in meeting justice, do you feel like that would have been better or worse? Because a lot of the time you do find people who do experience refoulement, they tend to actually say like that was the best experience they could have had. Yeah. Then they come out to wanting to help others come out of that life. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. And you're talking about in terms of
like you said, everything is necessary.
Rehabilitate, like when they go inside and rehabilitate. Is that what you're saying?
In reincarnation.
They changed as well.
Yeah.
Like do you know what? What I'm just basically trying to say is that, like, in terms, like, to bring it to the subject, like, yes, there's going to be things that, you know, you may look at and say, you know, this is wrong, or, you know, you shouldn't do something, you shouldn't do that. But when it in the moment, you're going to react that way, you know.
But there's consequence. That's the problem.
Yeah, there is consequence, but you know that though, innit?
Actually think
like but you know there's consequences,
especially
innit?
kids.
Like,
most times when they're living that life, they're not actually thinking about getting locked up or dead or their mum burying them. Do you know what I'm saying? So
I think they are, but they're not understanding. You don't understand the severity,
or how real it is.
Yeah, they don't understand the severity. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, that's what I think it is. Yeah, they don't understand how serious it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, until it hits home, until it's close to home, and then you realize, yo, like, you know, like it's real.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I mean, like, let me give you like an example. Yeah, like, okay, cool. Say like, obviously you lot got children. So say like your children was attacked in school. Like, what would your first instinct be? Like, what would your first reaction be?
For legal reasons, I will not say.
Do you get what I'm saying, though? Do you get what I'm saying? But we all agree that, like, we all know the right thing to do, innit?
I mean, in essence, right, nothing's neither wrong nor right. It's down to the moment and what applies.
And how,
you can't say that to the judge, though.
And how big the problem is as well, like how long it's been going on for, etc. as well. Do you know what I mean?
Because if it's resolved, like, do you know what? There was an instance, right, when my son, he was in school and there was a kid that kept on like bullying him. Yeah. I was just so annoyed. I was like, attack him. Like, if he hits you, hit him back. He was like, Mum, no, that's not right. Yeah. I'm going to tell the teacher. So I was like, okay, you know, tell the teacher. So I told the teacher. And I was like, can I talk to the parent? Because clearly whatever you're saying to the child is not applying. Like, it went on for a good couple of weeks. Yeah. And then they were like, they rather not have those things happen, whatever not. And then there was this day we went to school, and then, like I said, his approach was never to hit back, right? And I find it interesting because I feel like we have a very similar thing there where, you know, maybe if you attack, it might be worse than another route. So he wrote the child a letter. And I think in the letter, he had appealed to him in a way where I don't know what he said directly, but at the end of the day, he came back and said, Mommy, he's my friend now.
Oh, that's so cute.
And I was like, do you know what? The higher parts of me would say, yeah, that is the best way. But then there's other parts of me that's just like, if someone's really trying to get you down, get them. Like, I don't know.
You need to get your get back.
Yeah, that's just hard.
When she said, I don't crash out.
I don't crash out. Listen, I've had situations where people have been in my face testing me.
Yeah.
Hands on me testing me.
I know.
I don't crash out. But there gets to it. weeks of a situation reoccurring, you're gonna have a wrath.
I had it with my eldest daughter.
Do you know what I mean?
She was bullied, but it was going on for years, and it was just like she'll come home with new clothes and it'd be ripped and stuff.
See, I couldn't handle it.
She
My
wasn't
heart.
telling me nothing. When I'm talking to the teacher, it was like they didn't see anything, so it didn't happen. So one day I caught the girl doing it. So I told Halima, okay, cool. Listen, deal with it. And do you know what I mean? And then when you come home today, you tell her, no, you can't touch me anymore. My mum knows about it now. So she went to school, it got worse. So I just said, cool.
That would hurt me too much.
Listen, I waited outside for the mum and figured out who the mum was. And I told her, Shay, next time my child comes home with any bruises or cut clothes or whatever, I'm gonna beat you up
But then you know the
same
thing
way.
is, right? We have to then take it to the deeper causes, because children that are then comfortable attacking other children, what do they experience at home?
Oh, she was like from a massive family, and she was like not getting attention. She was the middle child of like 9.
Oh,
do you know
that's
what I'm
not
saying?
a middle.
Yeah. So so I knew why it was happening, but that's still your problem. That's not my problem. Do you know what I'm saying?
As a parent, we get reactive. We want to protect ours, but then the other part is, how is it that you even have this comfortability? And I think this is what interpretates in the streets a lot of the time, because I guess for some people that becomes a safe place if home environment isn't nurturing and if home environment is empty, because a lot of the time you have parents who are out providing, they're caring for, you know what I mean? They're doing what they have to do to keep the house sustained. So you don't have a parent at home. Then you find an older that suddenly looks out for you, but they're on the street 24/7. They have time. So I guess it's...
And then you get groomed.
And then and you don't know that you're getting groomed.
Yeah.
You know, you think, oh, you're just getting respect. This is validation in some sense. This is me being seen. And then it's a rabbit hole from there, right?
I guess when you're in the moment, you're not really seeing it as like you're being groomed, because where it's just happening around you, it's just the norm, innit? It's your environment, innit? Like everyone's kind of doing it. So, you know, you and your older friends are kind of like, you know, you're seeing what they're doing, and you're just thinking, you know, I want to be like that when I can't wait till I'm 15 and, you know, I'm doing what they're doing, or I'm allowed out late. Even little things like, you know, I can't wait till I'm allowed out till 10 o'clock. Like, you know, I have to go home at 7, 8 o'clock. I can't wait till I'm allowed out till 10. I can't wait, like, you know, little things like that. Like, like.
But you don't know what's happening after 9 o'clock.
Yeah, you
after
get
the curfew
it.
time. I used to have 6 p.m. even if it was hot outside and the sun was all bright. My mum was not playing that. She was like, get home by 6.
Yeah.
So, you know, you missed out a lot. But I guess that's
There was
protection
nothing good
in
out
many
there,
ways.
trust.
You know what I'm saying?
But again, like, so you see how you approach the situation, Would you say that was the right thing to do?
That was healthy.
It was years.
Yeah.
It was years.
Yeah.
It was years talking to the school, to the head teacher.
Do you feel like you had no choice at that point?
It was
like,
no choice. It was literally no choice. I had to let the mum know that the way your daughter is treating my child is not right, but you can have it too. That's what if you need to learn a lesson.
How did the
so
mum
be it.
respond?
She was like, I can't remember the child's name, but she was just like, my daughter. And I was like, yeah. And she was definitely one of them mums that knew what her daughter was about, because the child was doing it to her siblings in the school as well. So she knew who her child was.
Yeah.
But I want you to know who I is. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, someone has
Sometimes
to
you
disrupt
have
the
to.
pattern.
Yeah.
Someone
Have
has
to.
to disrupt the pattern.
And the girl never troubled her, because I did it in front of the girl. She never troubled her again.
See, that's
It
good.
worked.
Sometimes that's what it takes.
Because maybe she always felt like she'll get away with it.
Yeah.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
When you consistently think, oh, I'm going to
Yeah.
get away with it,
Yeah.
then, you know, no accountability. There's not going to be no correction.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just human nature that sometimes we do all need to have a redirection of path.
Yeah. And I think the main thing as well, like you lot said, if it's like what's going on at the house, innit? So maybe when they go home and that, there's a lot of like violence
Yeah.
and things like that. So they carry it outside, innit? That's what they know at the end of the day. That's how they react to things, innit? At home, it gets loud or it gets aggressive. So that's how they respond to things. You think you can just go around just, you know, just hitting someone just because you want them to stop talking
need
or
them to
something.
hear.
Yeah, like don't go like that. You know what I'm
Can't
saying?
translate it into the real world.
There's no communication. Yeah. So I think that's something that we're doing well as a generation to work on,
Yeah.
because we communicate a lot more than our prior generations. And I guess they were shut down a lot more.
Yes.
So there couldn't even be space or capacity to interpretate how they felt without using
You
physicality.
weren't allowed. You weren't
Do you know what I
even
mean?
allowed that as a child. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
and the
So,
generations prior to that were worse
Yeah.
because more time. What did
Yeah.
they have to go on other than their own cruelty? So
Yeah, it's true. No, we
we're
have
not their
come
own, but-
far. We've come far.
yeah,
Definitely.
we're doing
Do you
good.
know what I'm saying? Even my kids recently, they were talking about, you know, that they're really when they were younger. I'm always like, if you need to be punished, if you've done something wrong, I'm going to tell you about yourself. But also, if someone does wrong to you and they don't get pulled up about it, I'm going to talk to their parents. And if their parents don't pull, I'll pull them up. Do you know what I mean? Own business.
It's
Because
right.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Because why should, I feel bad when I'm telling off my kid because they're still learning, like at those times when they were younger. But, you have to make sure that they know that it goes both ways. So my daughter said to me the other day, I'm really happy that you did. And she was like, I always felt embarrassed when you told me off and stuff, but now I understand it. And I'm like, yeah.
It takes time, I guess, for it to make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, yeah? So you see, like, what do you tell your children, like, if someone hits you, what do you tell them, like, how they should respond to it?
I told you. Hit back.
In any instance?
Depends. If it's something where I can either put myself forward and be like, hey, no, then obviously no. Like if it's my little son and he's playing with another baby, and sometimes, children do have different conditions and whatnot, so they can respond to playing in a different way and they're still playing. So I will try to teach them not to always be so aggressive.
To read the room
but
a bit.
depending on the situation. Situation where you're attacking my child for weeks, you must hit them.
Do you think that's right, though? So bad.
Yeah.
It's not about what's right. It's about justice.
Yeah.
Is that hypocrisy then? Is
It's-
that hypocrisy?
It's also
then?
teaching that bully as
Is
well.
that hypocrisy then?
That it's teaching the bully as well that that's not acceptable in society. And sometimes someone might
Eye
come
for an
in, so,
No, I agree with you, but I'm just saying this is how, like,
yeah, man.
you
It's
get
right.
it?
It's
Like,
right.
sometimes things are necessary.
Yeah.
You
It's
get
also
me? It's not
teaching
about
our
what's
kids
right
how
or
to
what's wrong, it's
survive
about what's
out there,
necessary.
because it's gonna be sometimes there's bullies in workplaces and not necessarily physically, but there are. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's a way of teaching your kids. I'm a person. I have a right, and no,
Have a backbone.
yeah,
Yeah.
you got.
Don't let everyone just push you.
Yeah.
No.
No, I hear what you're saying. And even with that, yeah, to be honest with you, it's like, it's funny that you actually say that, because even like from the background that I've come from, it's going into a work environment. It's like, it's funny because when you're in certain situations, like, okay, cool, I'm like, may have gone to HR before for whatever. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's like the way that they behave and the way that they go on, it's very funny, innit? Because it's like, you lot proper trying to come across intimidating, but it's like, what you don't understand is how I see you lot is literally, I see you lot as just a person with just a title. So I don't even really, yes, cool, you may be a head of service or whatever, but I'm not inferior there. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You in a room with me that doesn't do anything to me. Respectfully, I've been, like, not that it's anything to be glorified, but I've been arrested. I've had police threatening to, send me to jail for 10. I've been in situations that's a lot more harsher, respectfully, than just a guy and a girl with a title in their name sitting in the room trying to look at me. So when I'm dealing with certain things in work, it's like, cool. My younger years, maybe I may have let things slid because I don't know how to handle myself in a professional environment. But once I understood how to do things professionally, it was a lot more easier to just maneuver in it. And I become a lot more confident in when they're trying to, like, get onto me. Because at the end of the day, I'm a black boy working in the council.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's going to be politics. Do you get me? Without saying it. Do you get what I'm saying? And when they try to come with whatever, once I kind of understood how to carry myself professionally, I was a lot more confident. Do you get what? It was a lot more difficult to kind of try and bully me in a sense, innit? That's how I just call a spade, innit? Trying to bully me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's like, when intimidate me even. And not even, let me not even say intimidate, because it wasn't even like but it's just more just bullying. When like people with authority are doing things and like, if I'm an apprentice or a trainee, I only know so much. So when certain things are being done, I'm new to this. I don't understand that. You know what? They're not even really allowed to do certain things. Like, have you even checked the code of conduct? Have you even checked it's not even, what they're doing is is backhand stuff. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, but I'm not privy to any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? But then when I start to understand those things, you get me? It becomes a lot easier. Then all of a sudden, now they can't.
Knowledge is power.
Do you get
Knowledge
it?
is
Like, yeah, so I mean, I just say that to say that basically, like, it's, again, for me, the main thing though is coming from the environment that I come from. I don't get scared from just seeing titles. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I've been in more dangerous situations, so that's why I feel like at the same time, I wouldn't say that what I've been through is bad in a sense, because I feel like it's helped build character,
I must say,
morals,
I feel like the hood
principles.
does.
Mm. Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like it literally builds character, man. If you can survive in those kind of environments, like literally,
You can conquer it,
Yeah,
do
do you
it.
get what I'm trying to say?
But you do need people who have experienced that on the other side of
Yes.
it. Like how you say now you know how to navigate corporate.
Yes.
You need to have the
growth
The
is-
growth
yeah.
needs to happen, and the direction and the guidance. you
It
know
does
what
bring.
saying?
I'm not gonna lie. It does carry a lot of trauma, though.
Let's
Just
talk
even the
about
way
it.
that you handle things and deal with things, and just your behaviors, and that. I won't deny that. You can't deny that, innit? Like literally anyone that you see, whether you was even street or not, like once you've kind of come from that environment or that area, just naturally there's just what you've seen, what you've experienced, what you've witnessed happening in the area. Like you a lot of these things it's not actually normal.
Yeah.
That we've been through is not actually
really
normal.
not.
It's not. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like the fact that we even see it as
There's
like,
complete different upbringings.
yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Like, and that in itself is the
Man.
the trauma or the PTSD that we are carrying with ourselves. The fact that we see a lot of these things as, you know, it's mad.
I've met some scary characters out there who have actually been completely traumatized,
Yeah.
and it is real. It's real. Like traumatized from the street.
Like, let me give you an example. Yeah, like if you lot was to see a mad person on the road, and you know they're just screaming their head off, just whatever, would you feel scared?
Not really. Not if they're not doing nothing to me.
But you see what I'm saying? But that's actually not normal though. That someone's, you don't even know you don't know what they're about to do. But you just wouldn't be, and that's just the little things I say, because you've seen,
know
you've
what
seen
the-
it. It's around
You're
you.
just
like,
taught to be ready.
No, but you know the craziest thing though, I feel like we've also then become maybe a bit too desensitized to the things
don't
that
know,
are
I think it's
telltale
my
signs.
error.
Do you get what I mean?
I think it's my error. Like I was outside rolling the streets with boys, beating them up, and I think.
But I feel like even when it comes to, say for example, then like crackhead, like you said, a crackhead that's obviously in their high and they're going on.
Yeah.
Before they were that person, there was a build up. Do you know what I mean? I feel like if everyone just continues to ignore that,
yeah.
then because that's what it is. Like ultimately, I'm not gonna engage with it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
acknowledge it. I observe. I see you ain't really causing harm to you. Oh, you might. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I know I don't have capacity. I'm not a big person. I'm just gonna mind my way. I'll say a prayer for you. That's the most I can do. You know what I mean? But before it got to them being that person, there was a build up. Who like when they were 19, for example. But even, do you know, the sad thing is, you meet people on the streets now. They are 19.
Yeah,
looking like they're the 40-year-olds
Yeah, it's
that's
mad.
been on the streets. You know what I mean? So it's like, where did
it go wrong?
not even where did it go wrong, but where did we all miss the beat?
Yeah.
Like, where did we all say, fuck it? Like, 'cause I feel like that's what happens. We all just be
I
like,
say this all the time.
whatever.
You know, like I was talking to my friend the other day, and she was talking about like giving, you know, people that have got drug problems money, and I'm like, I always offer a sandwich or a meal deal or whatever. Do you know what I mean? If you're hungry, cool, I'll buy for you a meal. Do you know what I'm saying? But I won't give money. And then she was like, my auntie was saying, no, you shouldn't give them nothing. And I was like, no, because anyone could fall into that trap, you know. All you have to do is let a little bit of depression hit you and you could go completely, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to give grace.
And you know, the other side to that is, it's like you could, like, because I see it as you don't know what it takes for them to even get through a day.
Yeah.
Like, we alone being comfortable to a degree in our lives, going through a moment of depression, that's heavy. We need our release. You might have a drink, you might have a smoke, you might have a dance, whatever it is that gets you to feel okay again. You get to have that release. If their little bit of release is that little one liquor,
Yeah.
Are we really right to then judge what they do
I know.
with the money we
I know
give?
what you mean.
Like, that's how I feel sometimes. I'm like, I feel like intuitively, I like, you know.
No, I was just gonna say mine is not based on what they're gonna spend their money on. The rebellion in me, if they ask, I have a problem with giving. But if I see them and they're just there minding their own business, there's something in me that just wants to give. But when they're all up on me and I'm at the cash point and they're following it, and all of that, and on the train they're approaching me, there's something in me that I'm like, no, like chill. Like, but when I'm walking past someone that's homeless, if I've got change, you know, I will just automatically give because they're not harassing me.
Yeah.
And you know that sounds bad because obviously there's a part of judgment there. But for me, yeah, it's all to do with behavior. And I feel like they're a bit erratic and stuff. But I feel like, yeah.
But then wouldn't you say those ones that are behaving erratic, wouldn't you say those are the ones that actually need it more because they're actually, they're feeling for it. They're in such a need. They're actually
They're at
on
that
you.
breaking point.
You know what I'm saying?
The chill ones are already
I've got
hit
my
high.
own. I've got my own bad habits. I'm not here to fund.
Do you
That's
know
not
what?
none of my
This is
business.
what I'm
That's none of
saying,
my
man.
business. If I've got change in my pocket and I want you to get a sandwich or a drink, be grateful with that.
Listen,
Don't
I've
be
got bare
asking
kids,
me.
man. I got to feed them kids. You know what I'm saying? So you're lucky you
I
get
mean,
a
and
little
that's the other
sandwich.
perspective.
Do you know what I'm
is we
saying?
have our own lives.
We do. We're
Yeah.
all like, look at
And
how
you find that
much
a lot
food
of
costs
people,
now.
a lot of people on the streets choose that life.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
there's help.
literally. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
for
That
real.
like I would say maybe I don't know the degree of the help because I've not experienced it,
Yeah.
but I know there's enough shelters out here to
There's,
help get some level of.
There's
You know
an
what I mean?
interview that a guy helped, and the homeless guy, the homeless guy didn't want to be in there, so he said just come and shower and go back out and sleep on the streets. So sometimes it is a choice.
They
you know
do
what
choose
I
it,
mean?
and some people don't want responsibility of life, and that's why they choose it. Like I remember there was a time I felt so bad because this young lady had approached me, and I could tell she was like my age at the time. I think I was like 20, 26, 27 as well. So I was like, how did you know what I mean? And instantly I was just like, okay, how can I help you? And I remember like I felt I couldn't do much. I just had my newborn. Do you know what I mean? I had my son. I can't
Limited,
do
yeah.
much for you right now. But I took her to a church, and then when I did, and then I spoke to one of the pastors. Then they were like, you know, I guess it's hard to witness these situations, but a lot of the time they have people come in the same situation, and you realize they don't really want help. They actually
true.
don't,
It
you know.
is true,
And
unfortunately.
it's a double-edged sword. I feel like if I have it to give, I'll give it.
Yeah.
And I'll pray that you do the best thing that you can with it. And if that best thing is sometimes whatever you need to ease your mind, and it might save you from taking your life, maybe I would prefer you doing that.
But-
Because then it gives you another chance of tomorrow.
But is that fair to say though that they don't want to help themselves?
If it's the reality, it's not about what's
Sometimes.
fair, babe.
We're not saying all of them,
That's what it
not
is.
all people, but
I don't know.
Some
Some people actually can't help it.
some
I mean,
people don't know
addiction,
any-
You're stuck
eventually
in
you
a
can't help
cycle.
it.
You're stuck in a
They
cycle.
don't know any better. It's like some people that come out of prison, go back in prison, come out because you know what I'm saying. They know that life. They rather that life than come out.
I guess a lot of people just don't want to do the uncomfortable thing as well. Like, I think we all know, like, to a degree, where we can shift before we get to an extremes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people just choose to not do that. It's a choice sometimes.
Sometimes it's a choice, but
Like, obviously,
sometimes
it's
you
a
just
choice,
can't
but
help it.
it's the relief of what you gain that keeps you doing it.
Some of these people got mental health though, so they actually don't know what they're doing.
I don't know. I wouldn't look at mental health in that way.
They're mentally ill. You can see a lot of these guys. You can see that they're just finished.
Self-medicating. It happens. So not every, obviously.
In
like,
this
not
London,
everyone's in
if
the
you
same
have
situation.
mental health to the degree of you're not capable to manage yourself, you
Yeah.
are naturally given a whole lot to make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
So
Where though? Where are you giving a whole lot?
from childhood right up until you're taking care of your whole life if you have mental health or disability.
Yeah, but you say that, but like not in all case, not in every case, innit? And then some people do
people have
end up like
access to
going
it.
down these roads. Sometimes you know what it is sometimes it's life. Life gets to you. There ends up becoming a break. You have a breakdown. You have a mental breakdown. No one doesn't really support you, doesn't guide you, and then from there you just end up hanging outside KFC.
I mean, it's not a jump though, is it? You don't
There's a
you don't
point
go
of
and
choice
hang out
choosing.
at KFC, isn't it? So I kind of agree, and I kind of see where you're both coming from. But my thing is no matter anyone's journey, there comes a time there's going to be a choice. Now, on mental health, can't really put them in the same category.
Yeah,
No.
absolutely.
Can't put them in the same category, because if someone's mental health is totally gone deteriorated and they don't know what they're doing, it's kind of different from someone who
Eventually
started off
had
smoking
somewhere.
weed,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
started sniffing
Just
coke,
make choices
and then
after
went on to,
choices.
and then went
Yeah.
on harder and harder and harder. And now they're so deep that they can't find their way out. You had a choice before you got that deep. So I hear what you're saying, but before you got that bad, there was a choice.
But then there's
Right.
addiction though, innit? Like some people have that addictive personality. So when you try something, you try
It
a
could
certain
be
high,
just
you
But
like
this
it.
is
though.
true.
It
And
could
I have
be
an
expensive.
addictive
covering trauma.
personality.
I was gonna
It's
say.
expensive.
I have an addictive personality, but that's
Yeah,
why I
so
stay
do
away.
I.
That's why I stay
Yeah,
away from
same.
things.
Same.
You have a choice. I
Yeah.
know what's good for me and I know what's not good for me.
Or what's
and,
too much at some
and
point.
if I'm going to
Yeah.
use life and blame life to go and put something up my nose or something in my arm, then yeah.
But you have that. This is the thing that you know you have that kind of restraint. You're able to kind of have that kind of resistance. But not everyone does have that. You know, some people do succumb to peer pressure easily, or some people do.
But then they still have the
seek
choice
certain
whether to
highs.
go and get help for it or not. That's where it gets slippery, because if you don't, you know.
Do you know what?
I
You
wouldn't
lot say this
say-
year. You lot say this year, but when you actually going through it, when you actually say there's ways you can help. Where? There's not actually a lot of avenues to help these people with it. Like
I mean, what I
like-
would say is, because it comes down again to like not completely expecting everything outside of yourself to make you make sense. Do you get what I mean? Like at some point we have to be accountable for what we're doing for our own lives. I think a lot of the time, if depending on how early you start as well, you've naturally not even gained the grasp on accountability within yourself. So then you go down a rabbit hole. But ultimately, if you like, there is a point where there's a choice, and I get where maybe depending on when it started, there may not have been much of a support, and some people can turn people away,
Yeah.
right? So there's layers, 100%, not going to deny it, but I don't know.
you know what?
I personally think I hear your perspective, 100% hear your perspective, but mental health isn't so cut clear and it's very complex.
But this ain't about mental health.
I'm saying in relation to mental health, because I think that you were saying that there's a difference between people who have mental health and those who don't have mental health. I think everyone has a form of mental health.
I could agree to an extent.
Everyone has a form of mental health, and you have to consider the external factors and also people's strengths and weaknesses. Everyone has different strengths. Everyone has different weaknesses. And if you think of the environmental factors, we're talking about childhood, how a child is brought up, what they're being taught, how they're being socialized by school, by their peers, by their family, by their friends, by the media. So it's not so cut and clear. I think even people that it's like, if we're going to agree what you're saying, then it's like people that go and commit suicide, we don't feel bad for them, or people that don't commit suicide.
No, that's never what I said.
No, I'm just saying though, but see
'Cause
where
they had a
it
choice.
may feel
had a
like
choice not to
that's an
commit
extreme
suicide.
case.
No, but like I said, there's layers. I did say there's layers.
No, I'm saying it may feel like it's an extreme case to you, but that's a perspective to you. Some people will crumble at something that may seem very small to you or may not see it as significant to you.
Absolutely.
Everyone has different weaknesses and everyone has different strengths, and that
I mean, I agree.
also comes down to cognitive development and how people process and what people view as what's important or what they need or what they lack or what is self-fulfilling for them in life. So a crackhead may be like, okay, the person came to be a crackhead for whatever so-and-so reason. You're saying at some point there was a choice. Some people literally just fall into it. Some people make very unconscious decisions.
Babe,
Things just happen.
You don't fall into lighting
you have to
something.
be in that
There's a
environment
preparation
as well.
that happens even when you're doing that. Like, I do get what you're saying, and I do agree. Like I said, there is layers. It's not clear cut and it's not black and white, because again, like you said, if it's from the home and then there's a social environment you're in before you're of an age, like say 25, where you cognitively you can make conscious choices
Says
to then.
who?
No, hear me, honey.
Yeah,
Because-
but that's the thing though.
No,
You're,
but wait,
you're being
Manny,
subjected to a 25-year-old. Not everyone at the age of 25.
Science is your cortex develops after 25, which
Based
is
on
when
certain quantitative data, it's not. It doesn't. It's never. Nothing is ever 100%.
I can hear you, but at the same time, what I'm saying for the majority, when you hit the age of 25 is when usually you become more self-aware and when you're then able to make conscious choices. Prior to that age, you can obviously be given grace because a lot of who you are is based upon your environment. So like I said, if you are a child and you become mixed up in that life, it can definitely be something that we can say is small, that took them there, but not so small because as a young person, it's heavy. Do you get what I'm saying? But as an adult, if you indulge in certain things as an adult, you have to have a degree of accountability because you did know when you was lighting the something and you was inhaling, sorry, but you knew what it was going to do. You enjoyed the hit, and that's why you did it again. You didn't want to confront the root. And we know after a certain point in time, I'm running from something, even if you can't name it.
100%. But what if there were things that had such an impact at childhood development, that it also has an impact on how someone processes things as an adult?
That's likely.
No, but that happens a lot. So trauma usually starts from childhood. Some people are able to bring themselves out of it, but you're talking about years and years of childhood trauma. Not everyone is able to get to the age of 25 and now feel like they have a decision to make and they can make these decisions and I'm strong enough to make these decisions, or I need to know what's
Well, this
right
is
and
where
what
I
is
did
wrong.
say, like, for the most part as community then, when do we then observe that people are in a state where they need someone to check in and we check in? Because not everyone has the awareness of the fact that what they're doing is not okay or what they're doing is going to be self-destructive in the long run because in the moment it's fulfilling for them. But as community, that's why I said there's times where maybe we shouldn't be so desensitized to when we see someone having a frantic episode, because then at that point in time, that's probably this moment to say, hey, like, you know, like, or wait, I don't know what we could really do, because depending on your life, like I got children, my love, I can't put myself on the line like that. I'll pray and I'll be on my way. I'll call a police officer. Do you know what I mean? But I can't put myself on the line. But there's someone out there who this might appeal to who then has capacity to wait, to sit down and to say, you know what, I saw you and let me take you on a journey. Someone out there will have the capacity. So I'm saying as community, this is something we can raise awareness for, because someone does need that. Someone needs someone to be there.
It's true.
I want to say, yeah, because obviously I made the point in it. Like, I'm agreeing in it that, like, yes, in life you do have choices in it. Everyone has a choice in life. Do you get what I'm trying to say? For me, it's like how you've brought up or things that you've gone through affects the choices that you make. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And sometimes you can't even, these guys that are in these situations or have become sort of, you know, crackheads, or they're just sort of, you know, on the streets or whatever you want to call it, nitties, whatever you want to say. Sometimes they can't help that. It's life that they've fallen into this. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Just general living, just general day-to-day living. A lot of people are living like living on the go. A lot of people are living in the minus. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And when you're living in the minus, like mentally, it's depressing, it's down. You can't do anything because things are just onto you. Things are just chasing you. Like then, like you've got children, so you're trying to raise children. And the reason why you're living in the minus is because you're trying to raise children. You're trying to make sure your children's all right. And then you know you need your downside. So you're trying to do whatever on the side, and then before you know it, you're in a mad right now. Your children are getting older now, and now they're just kind of doing their own thing, and then now you're just losing control. And then before you know it, like there's a break, and then like this is not all the time, innit? But I'm just saying, it's just like that. You can say that there's that they could have made a choice, but sometimes life is just overwhelming, and
yeah, it happens. It does. I know somebody even down the road. There's an estate at the end of by my park, and this lady, I always used to see her all the time, and her daughter's the same age as my 15-year-old. Yeah, lovely girl. Always hello, how are you? And then after a few times I was seeing her, she was like, oh, do you have like a spare 20p or a rest? I didn't think nothing of it, do you know what I mean? I just thought she would change to the shop. Then all of a sudden I didn't see her. And I said to my son, oh, have you seen Thingy's mum? And he's like, oh, she's an E now, mum. She's she's not even around the area. She's moved out because she's just on coke or whatever. I don't know, crack or whatever. But it happens. Do you know what I'm saying to you? And she's just got her 15-year-old and she's got like a 5-year-old. Do you know what I mean?
But would you say that she made a choice to do that though?
Yeah, 100%, definitely.
She did.
But her environment was
Same
her
way
dad
how
was
you
the
would make
same.
a choice to even have children.
Her
You
dad
make
was
a
the
choice.
same, so I feel like
Okay, we're
that
all
was
in
her
agreement. But then,
environment.
could she
What
help the
we
choice
can
though?
say is-
Did she help? Could she help the choice that she made?
Yeah.
What we could say is, it's not an easy choice to make. We can give grace upon that. We can show compassion to it, because obviously to get to that place,
Yeah.
you clearly have to be going through things enough to feel like there's no other way, right? But then this is where I say community becomes important, because for those of us, like, I've not had the completely easiest slate. Do you get what I mean? There's many things where I could have said, well, I'ma just do that.
Yeah.
And if I give you the reason, it's making sense. There's many things. But at the end of the day, if we conform to that and we don't say that, you know what, there's a better way, and we show others a better way, then there's not going to be growth happening. Like, we're going to allow a cycle to happen because
Mindset
it's
as
just
well,
life.
though, innit?
I don't think life does that to us all the time. I feel like life gives us challenges, and sometimes those challenges can be overbearing. But I do also feel like being a part of life, you have to know you are part of something greater anyway. You have a purpose being here, even if you don't feel like it. You're not alone in your walk of life. But then if we're not together enough to say this, because of all the different reasons that we choose to be separated and segregated, then these choices look easy and become what it is. You know? So we're not going to say the choice is easy, but we're going to acknowledge there's a choice.
It was a choice.
Because if I chose to do that today, I know that it's only going to lead to eventually I'm not going to be able to come off of the thing that makes me feel good and escapes everything else.
I think for me, like, again, like I'm saying, like, I agree with the fact that, like, I'm not saying that it's not a choice, but what I think I'm more saying so is that, like, I'm not saying it's sometimes they can't help that they're in these. Some people can't help that they're in this situation. Like, do you get
You
what
can
I'm saying?
help that
Just-
you sniff something.
You
You can
can't,
help
like-
that you smoke something.
Okay, you can.
The
but
reasons, I get what
it's
you're saying.
when you're
It's the
chasing a
reasons
high, though, sometimes it's easier to get high than it is to face your issues.
Yeah, of course. But
It's
that's
as
what,
simple as
that's
that.
what Shanice
That's
is
the
saying.
point.
You
She's
could-
saying that any one of us could choose that, but it's still a choice. We all could do that. We
The
could
thing
all
is
have
But
a
I'm
bad day.
agreeing with you. But I'm just saying, for some people, it's easier to make that decision, though.
It's
Innit?
obviously everyone's got their own reasons. Do you know what I mean? Like, some people they've gone through something horrible, unimaginable. Do you know what I mean? And that's why they've gone that way. Some people, it's just like, fuck it, why not? Do you know what
Some
I'm
people
saying
do
to
do
you?
it on a merry-go.
Yeah. So
that's true.
and then they just lose their
Some
way.
people friggin' do it on a merry-go and still find ways to live a normal life.
They're
true.
working.
Like,
I used to
some
work
people-
with someone
yeah,
like
like-
that.
That's true.
Do you get what I
For
mean?
breakfast,
Yeah, that's
a man's functioning properly, like fully.
It helps some people. But my point is, it's like how deep something goes for you, you do have some say in. And if you feel like you really do need the help, I know it might it might sometimes feel like there's no one out there.
Yeah.
But trust that there's people out here. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to take accountability out of the picture, because that's the only way that you get from point A to point B, period. You're not going to get nowhere in life if you can't choose to be accountable for your outcome of life. There's not a savior coming. Savior's within you.
That's right.
Okay, then, so to bring it back into the subject, then, so okay, then, cool. Would we say that, like, the older generations have, like, would we say that they have an impact then on, like, our morals and our beliefs and our principles that we are kind of putting out there? Because we are the mothers and the fathers of today. Do you get what I'm trying to say? The elders are the elders. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, like, our morals, our values, our principles, the way that we behave, the way that we go on, the way that we carry on, would we say that they have a part to play in, like, what they've showed us, what they've taught
Massively.
us, what we've seen?
Massively.
But with the elders and the older generations, we have to take into account all the things that made the makeup of those people. And for the most part, a lot of people have been, not even just physically, but psychologically, spiritually, not even a lot of people, collectively.
Yeah.
This has happened amongst many races, where we have been taken away from what's God to us, taken away from our knowing as a person, as a people, away from our values, away from the things that are our self-esteem. Do you know what I mean? The things that we had to uphold us and keep us strong, those were
Village,
stripped.
our community, like,
Do you get what I
that's not
mean?
even non-existent.
They were completely stripped.
Yeah.
And so for the older generation, we have to acknowledge that they're coming through a different timeline and bloodline and
struggles,
array of experiences. Where let's be real, the time we're in now is chaotic because we're experiencing everything. We're experiencing the pain of the past. We're experiencing the light of the future.
Yeah.
And we are very few here where we can say, actually, there's a way to go about the future that makes it better and completely allows the past to feel like
it's part of it in a sense.
It's part of it, but
it's
not the only thing that defines
it.
you.
Shouldn't just shape everything.
Do you get what I'm saying? And that's where we're at now. So
Okay,
it's like,
cool. So that's great that you said that, and so what can we do then now in it to like make a difference, like
I feel
for
like
the future
it's community.
generations?
It's community. It's accountability. It's
Okay,
just
but those are like
self.
vague
Man
answers.
in the
Like, what do
mirror.
you mean by community? Like, what do you mean by that? Like,
Well, what I
elaborate,
mean
like,
is,
step in. Like, don't be afraid to be part of the community. Don't be afraid to lead
knock
the community.
your neighbor's
That's what it
door.
is.
Say hi, neighbor.
But
Smile.
also your kids as well, like we're saying, do you know what I mean? We make them into human beings that you like and you want to push out onto the world, not
what
like
you hope they can then
you know
continue on for generations to come.
make them people you like.
Make
man.
them safe.
Yeah.
Make yourself safe. Make the people you're raising safe. You know what
But
I mean?
how though? Like,
It takes a lot of
how do you
shadow
make a
work.
difference?
It's a lot of shadow work. It's a lot of actually sitting with the things about yourself you don't like.
It's being aware as well.
Yeah.
Not just like what's going on in your household and stuff, but just aware of your surroundings. Like I said, your neighbors, your community, do you know what I'm saying? Because there might be a point where you need them. And unless they know you, you're not going to get that help.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's important.
but again, like when I'm saying like, what can we do to make a difference? Like examples though, like, because again, we're talking about hypocrisy. We're talking about like a way of life and a way of living, innit? Do you get what I'm trying to say? And again, like how you said, you've kind of taught little ones, you know, to if someone troubles you and they do it a certain amount of times, you're to do it back. But again, we know that that's not the right thing to kind of, you know, like show them. But at the end of the day, that's a principle that you've been taught from your elders.
No, it's
survival.
but it's something where I can say I'm conscious of what I say right now.
That you're carrying on tradition.
It's not a carrying on a tradition. It's a carry on. It's not even a carry on. It's an acknowledgement of reality. If you allow someone to abuse you enough times and you don't show them that, you know, you're not here for that, they're gonna take the piss out of you. You might lose your life.
Yes.
That's the extent that can go to, because there's been cases of children.
But your little one wrote a letter and that worked.
And that was his God in him.
Yeah.
And I love it.
So why don't we start telling little ones maybe to write a letter to your enemies instead of
Do you know what?
not violence? Why don't you write a letter from the
And
heart
that's what you
and
want
appeal
from
to their,
your
and appeal to
kids.
their, you know?
He found his own way, and that's that's the best hope you can have.
This is the
for
thing
your
that
kid.
children teach us though, because I would still say it's valid. And that's me living life, having lived life.
Because I'm going to be honest with you.
Not every child will respond to
I
a
think that's
letter.
actually a good, like that. I think that's actually a good idea, to be honest with you. I think that a lot of people should do that. You know, if someone's troubling you, instead of meeting them with aggression, maybe appeal to the other side, innit? Maybe there's something that they're actually lacking at home. And, you know, if they see, he actually wants to be my friend, he might actually look at you different. Rather than
I
bullying you,
agree.
you might actually
And
see
that's
that, you know
probably why it
what?
works.
Or she, if it's a girl, you know, they might actually look at you different. So
Yeah, but sometimes violence as well. Like this just is what it
A
is.
bit of Martin and a bit
you
of...
lot ain't even trying to
Keep it out the
You
balance.
ain't even trying to change, man. We hypocrites.
No,
man.
listen.
It is what it is.
Nah, seriously.
No, but
it's not
you
about
have-
being a hypocrite.
You have to understand the circumstance, the time. There's a lot
There's
of things
so
to take
much
into
into
account.
it.
Like, for example, if I'm with children, right, and they're in my care, and a situation happens amongst them, I tell them to write letters. That's what I would do. But if it's now outside the home,
Yeah.
and it's a consistent matter of abusing another person, I'm telling you, raise your hand. I'm telling you to kill them, but you're not weak,
Yeah.
and don't let them think that.
Just stand your ground. Do you know what I'm saying? If you have to, then you have to, you know?
Well,
And
you know,
obviously, maybe you're right, because one thing can lead to another, but
and I'm going to end it on this one. I'm
Just
going to
pray.
suggest that, you know, if you've got any issues with anyone, write a letter to them, write a heartfelt message, you know,
Take it.
appeal to the heart. And
And if it don't work,
then.
Detain.
But yeah, no, obviously hope you lot enjoyed. Another fabulous episode. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and yep, we'll see you on the next episode of Black and Muted. Peace out.
Black and muted.
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 Black and muted.